Alright, so one of the tricks with doing these drawings is if you're coming up with ideas on your own, then you got to draw them out of your head, but sometimes it's hard to figure out perspective. So some of the drawings, at least, copy good ideas from some of the books and magazines or some of the better things that you can find online. When you're drawing from a reference, keep it side by side so that you can compare back and forth. You should initially draw very lightly until you get the shapes to be right, and you want to do things like measure the height of this end over here to that there, and this one's just a little bit taller, and then that line's going to come off in this direction. So now that I've got that curve about where I want it, I can go ahead and darken that in just a little bit, and then this tip of the spout comes off like this and comes down. Oh, not quite that curve, a little bit more like this. Then I'm going to do that little flat bit for the foot part, and then it's going to be coming up over here, and it's coming off in this direction. It gets to be about that thin. It's a little thinner, so maybe this doesn't come quite as far down before coming back up, because it's got to curve back around and try and get it. Oh, it doesn't curve quite yet. Maybe it's a little flatter of an angle, coming and finishing its curve a little further out so that it can parallel this line that's coming across here. And we've got this other line coming across over here. So it comes across here, and we've got that. It's going to come over into this area, and then there's another foot piece that comes back across here. We've got our circle sort of a thing. Oh, that's wrong. Let's go across like this. Come over to here. That actually does go further before curving back around. So I'll do this. And I don't know what that little rock thing is doing there. I don't like that part of it, so I'm not going to draw that because I wouldn't do that on my project. This is going to come over there. And maybe I'll just spill onto the next page a little bit because I don't have the room. That's fine. Or I can just cut it off if I want to keep the perspective right, and then draw a smaller version of it somewhere else where I get that. Okay, that, if I get rid of that line because it was confusing me, well, it does come closer to that one, maybe more like this, and then around right there. Nope, even further. Comes up over here. Maybe that line was right, it just needs to come across like that. Okay, that's the right line. So let me get rid of some of these. Again, they're confusing me. So I'm going to come over here and do this, and I can just kind of darken this one in and darken this line here. Now this is all going to need to be pretty shaded anyway, so a lot of those lines, so I can see that's in shadow and underneath, and then I can indicate some shading across here, just a little bit of that indication of shading. Maybe, I don't have time to finish it. This is completely sufficient, but I've still got a little more time, so I'm going to keep going. But it's been 4.5 minutes. That's 3 to 5, so I'm pretty much done. But I do want to see what this looks like from the top, so I'm going to draw this one so I can see how wide it is. We've got the little tip of the spout, and then it kind of comes down in a line across here, and then we've got this sort of triangular shape thing going on over here, and then it comes and they come back. It's got a point, and across there. This one isn't symmetrical, but I kind of want mine to be symmetrical. So my idea is I'm going to change this a little bit so that it's just symmetrical and coming across, except, you know, I didn't come across symmetrically there, so I'll fix that. But it does still have this handle thing coming across the middle that kind of fades out on both ends. So I'll do something like that, and that's my thing. I'm done. 5 minutes, and it's messy, it's not really that pretty, but it's got lots of information, and I obviously spent enough time. So top, side, and you know, this could be one of my dream projects that I don't ever get to, but I also might be able to incorporate pieces of this into a project that I actually have time for. Maybe simplify it a bit and just have this part come straight down into that leg, and maybe put a smaller spout somewhere in here. And I could spend the next page doing my thumbnail sketches of ways that I can incorporate that one. So I like this project, but I just don't think I'm good enough for it yet. I don't have the skills, but I really love how it kind of curved around like this. So if I maybe just took this part where it kind of curves around, and I've got that handle, that kind of loop thing that comes around here, it curved around and then has this part that comes off there, so this and that curves up and down around. So it's kind of got this triangle piece here, and then this other one with the hole in it, and then maybe I just add a spout off of there that comes off like this. That could still have much of the things that I liked about this other one, but it's a lot simpler. Something I could do out of, you know, 2 big slabs over there that I'd have to curve, you know, one for this piece, one for that piece, and then come up with something here, maybe 2 more slabs for this, or maybe I could build this part out of coils. We'll see. And I could even indicate that, so like just kind of put some lines in there for coils, slab, pinch, and hey, look, that project would incorporate all 3 hand building styles. That'd be awesome. Or and then that one from the top will probably look kind of like this with the spout on it, or maybe a skinnier spout, and it's got the handle thingy that comes, the handle that kind of comes off onto here, and then this, maybe to simplify, will come around like this, or maybe it will be easier to come across like this. Well, let's see. So I got that one from the top. I could make it narrower. I think maybe it would be easier if I do it narrower. So I could try that and then have it kind of come over like this, or maybe if I just had it angle in a little bit and then around like that, that would still be, that would be a simple piece on the back here. Just have it kind of sag through there, and then I could add the handle separate. Yeah, maybe that would be good. And I could just do a pulled handle that comes and attaches right there. And then, you know, don't forget the spout on each of these. Oh, but where would I pour the water in? Maybe I'll just leave a little opening right there to pour the water in. Yeah, that'd be good. So you could spend the next day's worth of drawings coming up with little ideas, or maybe it's, you know, this shape that I like. So I'll go across and do something that's got this with the spout there, and it comes across over here, and I like this part, but for this I'll just kind of go up here and have this kind of curve back up, and I can put a lid on it right there and a handle on it right there, or even a handle across there. Either one. Let's see which one looks better. So if I'm going to do the handle across there, I think this shape works better. Let's do the handle across there on this one. So we have the handle kind of come across here, maybe just more like a thinner strap handle, like that. Yeah, that might be good. And then for this, I'll do another sketch. If I'm going to do the handle on the back, I kind of need it to be closer, so maybe I'll come across with a shape like, I don't know, maybe like this, and do there, and then have a handle coming across there, and then this doesn't scoop, well, that could still scoop up like that. So, I'll try that, and then I'll have that be the opening, and then, I've got some variations on a theme, ways to simplify it and make it a little bit easier. And then, I could indicate that this section here to about there, that would be slab, and then coils, and then strap, handle, and so on. Now I've spent my second 5-minute drawing doing some thumbnails of different ideas that how I might adapt the drawing from this, and that just came from finding one picture in one of the books that I liked. So if you're really struggling for ideas, then try something like this where you've got some reference, and then you can do adaptations, or you can do lots of thumbnail sketches one day and then do a more detailed of your favorite one to work out the stuff a little bit better, and so on. Anyway, so there's some instruction on some good ways to draw ideas based off of the books and magazines and things that you find online.